Hi, I'm Michelle with the Waterford Institute. We're a nonprofit research institute that provides comprehensive curriculum for pre-K through 12th grade. You may have heard of our in-home program called Upstart. Upstart is designed to use our Waterford Early Learning software along with extensive support for families of 4-year-olds. For kindergarten through 12th grade, we have Waterford Early Learning. Technology can be the great equalizer in classrooms with diverse learners, all with unique needs, unique skill levels. And so we provide personalized, adaptive software to help each and every student. We're comprehensive and foundational. We want to be able to meet kids right where they are and take them through to be more successful. Our multimodal, multi-sensory design is research-based, and it enables all students to be successful and learn and grow. Everything we do is research-based. It's based on best practices because what we want to do is maximize students grasping and retaining the information. Automaticity is a very important part of our program because we know that it provides those essential building blocks to decoding. And then our instructional model is able to leverage the power of technology by providing guided and independent practice, activities and remediation reviews, everything to help students, again, be more successful and learn and continue to show learning gains throughout their time. And using Waterford to Fidelity improves student outcomes. In fact, Assistant Principal Tim Phillips shared this, and here's what he said. With Waterford, we saw 92% of kindergarten students at or above benchmarks on DIBELS by mid-year. And Waterford works for everybody, regardless of demographics. In fact, studies in Utah and other states show that students have immediate gains, but also have long-term success as a result of their time in Waterford. And we know that usage is key. In fact, research shows that the higher the usage, the greater the student gains. Waterford is such a powerful tool. In fact, it's so powerful that the students only need to use it 15 to 20 minutes a day, 4 days a week. Now let's talk about our instructional model because it's unique to Waterford. First of all, we have a personalized individual learning path for each student, and this is how it starts. Students start with a placement test so that we can determine where in the program would be most appropriate for them. After that, every objective, they're going to see a pre-assessment. And if they show mastery on the pre-assessment, then they're going to skip ahead to the extension and certificate level where they're going to use that skill in a real-world application. But if they don't show mastery, that's okay too. What's going to happen then is they're going to go through the learning process. So they're going to have engaging songs and engaging books. They're going to have explicit instruction and lots of guided and independent practice, again, with lots of support along the way. Then they're going to encounter a post-assessment. If they still need more support, then they're going to go through the automatic remediation activities and reviews where they'll get more remediation, more experience, more repetition so that they won't be stuck on just any one skill. And then when you look at the numbers, oh my goodness, we have over 2,000 2,000 reading lessons, but they're comprised of over 5,000 online reading activities. 180 of those are books, 180 of those are songs, 237 of those are books, but it equates to over 225 hours in the entire program. When we provide personalized learning, we also provide differentiated feedback that's based on the student input. Let me kind of take you through this activity real quick. So this is teaching students to recognize capital H's. So they will hear the audio, click on all the capital H's. If they get it correct, then they're going to get a reward animation and audio. As you see here, our cookie gets eaten, right? And that's fantastic. But if they don't get it correct, then they're going to hear the incorrect letter that they selected. This is a lowercase h. Try again. If they get it wrong a second time, now they're going to hear this is the capital H. And if you'll notice on the screen, all the capital H's are now highlighted so that students have to pick the correct one. We work with LEAs, administrators, teachers, and paraprofessionals. And in our experience working with Utah educators, what we've done is we've come up with strategies for best practices for using Waterford in your classrooms. In fact, during a recent instructional coaching and modeling session, reading specialist Nani Pearson said this year we've been trying a blend of teaching with direct instruction and technology, and we chose Waterford. Waterford gives students the combination of direct teaching while being engaged with technology. And literacy technology specialist Sonia Abrams says this: my Waterford consultant showed me how to use Waterford reports and student growth tracking sheets to have students self-monitor. This makes it easy to have frequent data checks with students. Our professional service consultants, they create customized tracks for each and every school for how to implement Waterford there in your school. In fact, there's multiple touch points throughout the year, and it includes instructional coaching and modeling in your classrooms so that we can work with your teachers, with your students, and with your parents. Our training consists of group sessions as well as at least 4 on-site visits in classrooms. We also have a monthly touch point, so we have newsletters that update administrators and teachers. Part of personalized learning is providing actionable data. So we have dashboards and reports. And one thing I want to point out is that kindergarten teacher Cheryl Leeson, this is what she had to say about our reports. I love being able to monitor all 22 students at one time on their own individual plan. When does that ever happen? Without Waterford, it doesn't happen. So let me share with you real quickly an example of some of our dashboards so that we provide these so that administrators and teachers can have a graphic at a glance summary of student performance. Here you see a district report so that district administrators even can see which students are right on track and which students still need intervention to be successful. Teachers love their class view because it enables them to be able to see all of their class, all of their students, and how well that they're performing so that they can keep up with student growth. Here's an example of a student dashboard. So this shows you a completion track on it. It shows you where the student is in the program, how many objectives they've completed, how many they have left to complete, and it also shows you an average score for each of the learning strands. And then this is really neat. We've included a predictive analytics feature. And what this shows is a trajectory of student success based on the individual goals that have been selected for this student. Here's an example of our robust reports. So here you see our weekly student progress report. So again, it's going to tell you everything that this child has been doing while they're in Waterford and how successful they are being. We also have our Waterford levels, and this gives progress markers throughout the program so you can see where students are. We have a book readability table that correlates with Lexile, Fountas and Pinnell, and also DRA levels. Here's our average weekly scores. This is fantastic because what it does is it highlights for teachers scores that are below mastery. So again, I can quickly look at students to decide, oh, who's struggling and who's not. Our innovative area of difficulty report, this is a class report, also comes in an individual report, but what it does is it quickly helps teachers to be able to identify areas of weakness so that they can target instruction. And teachers love the fact that it groups their students for them. And we also have a student objective detail report. It's actually a mastery report, and you can see with the red X's and the green checks, it gives you definitive proof that a student does or does not know a particular skill. This is an invaluable tool for your PLC meetings and also parent conferences. Waterford students are consistent performers. 1 out of 3 students that are entering your kindergarten classrooms are Waterford digital natives who have participated in our Upstart program. And I think kindergarten teacher Jody Worthington says it best. Here's what she says: early intervention is vital. Our students and staff love Waterford. The results over the last 4 years have been unbelievable. So, of course, I highly recommend it. And I urge you to leverage the investment that the Utah State Legislature has made and implement Waterford in your classrooms today. I thank you so much for your time. I do want to introduce Mike Nelson. Mike is the Director of School Relations. He lives here and works with you in Utah, and he's more than happy to answer any questions that you have and also provide demo accounts. Mike, I'll turn it over to you for questions and answers.
Thanks, Michelle. I appreciate it. Being born with a face for radio, I'm grateful that Michelle was here to help us out today. Just so that you know, we would be glad to help set you up in any way, shape, or form for the fall. Just so you're aware, we didn't touch on this, but I would be glad to show you what we have coming with our Parent Mentor app to reach out to parents. And for the fall, we will have K-6 content. And I'd be glad to share that with you, how we integrate books and help kids go from learning to read to reading to learn along that continuum. So if you'll just flash my contact information up on the screen, if you can just add that, I'd be glad to help you out in any way, shape, or form. So we have one question. Go ahead, Michelle.
Couple of questions. First of all, is there a report that provides a grouping for teachers based on student skills? And yes, that's the area of difficulty report that I also mentioned here. By the way, let me just mention this. If you would like to see any of our reports, any of our dashboards, if you'd like to have a demo account so you can go in and play as a student or a teacher, we'd be more than happy to make that available for you so that you can see exactly how we do that. The second question is, are there resources for teachers to provide small group instruction based on the student need? Yes, there is. We have that too as well.
It's Classroom Advantage, and we're running that in several districts across the state. So I'd be glad to even point you to people who are using it, who can talk about the efficacy and how that works, but the ability grouping and putting those kids together for small group, large group, whole class instruction, we want to be very flexible that way.
I have a follow-up question. You'll have to repeat it because people can't hear me.
Yeah,
sure.
Is it K2 only or K3?
Actually, so the question is it K1, K2, K3? Actually, for the fall, we'll be K6. And we are a K1 provider, but we will provide the licenses K6. One of the things Michelle touched on quickly is we're a 501c3, a not-for-profit, and so it allows us to reach out and do what's right for students and do what's right by the schools. So it's not necessarily about making the profit up front. It's about what's doing right by the students and making sure that kids can read. So just to clear, we will be K6 for the fall, integrated books, integrated libraries, and things like that. But we are K1 on the list for the state office or State Board of Education EISP.
Another question. Can an older student who is academically a grade or 3 behind use it at a lower level? You'll have to repeat that.
Yes, absolutely. So the question is, if you have a student who's older but struggling and needs support because they are really, maybe they're reading on a kindergarten or first grade level, absolutely. We have a lot of implementations where they're using Waterford with older students. Maybe they're special needs, maybe they're English language learners, and terrific success. They're having terrific success. Yes.
Be glad to show you how all that works together in concert. Again, we thank you for your time. Thanks for the attention. We look forward to working with you. Any questions or anything like that, my email and cell phone number are there. We're glad to help in any way. Thank you so much.